Welcome to the Bluegrass Trust May deTour. Today we are going to see two houses that were designed and built by Richard Eisenhower. The first house we see here behind us is the Peterson house, and it was done in 1958. So some of the mid-century modern design elements you're going to see in this house as well as the second house. The open floor plan, the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen all flow together and to make one big living space for the house. The simple low roofs and the cathedrals inside open the space so it's a bigger volume and more of a visual space. The post beam and construction doesn't sound like a big deal. Home construction is typically done by building walls and putting the roof on the walls and poking windows through. By using post and beam, the walls no longer hold up the roof, so you can have great openings of glass or expanse. That way the opening can bring light into the house and make the house a lot more livable. The living area is inside, open to a private exterior. This brings the outside in and actually makes the outdoors more like a room. And at the same time, the house is more private on the front. You see more of a front that shields the house. The houses are typically built into the site, so they take the site into case. There was a lot of new materials after the war: plywood, formica, plastics, and aluminum, and they all made a difference in the houses. And then his specialty was using the natural materials from Kentucky, which is primarily the wood and stone. At the time, the houses were not called mid-century modern. He referred to his houses as contemporary. And he had a style that was so unique to Lexington that people referred to them as Eisenhower houses, which was sometimes meant as something good, and sometimes it was meant as something that wasn't as good. In the 1960s, Richard Eisenhower started taking classes at the new College of Architecture at the University of Kentucky and graduated with an architectural degree. And the second house you're going to see today, he built in 1972. He built this for himself, and you're going to be able to see a lot more of the architectural elements, but still the basic designs from the mid-century modern are still there. The open space, the beams, the glass, the opening, to the outside. So I'd like to introduce you to Mason Dyer. He and his family have moved into this house, and they have done an absolutely wonderful job of keeping the feeling of the house very much like it was in 1958.
Hi, I'm Mason Dyer. My wife Celia and our 3 children moved into this house almost 5 years ago, and we're excited to show you around today. And I will note, because it wasn't mentioned before, my wife Celia is the granddaughter of Dick Eisenhower, and that was her dad you just heard from previously. So we're excited to show you our house and talk a little bit about what we've done and how much we love being here. So come on in. So welcome to the inside of our house. Obviously we're just walked in through the front door, the open living room. One of the things that when we first walked into this house, when we came to check it out, that really struck us was just the openness, the view to the backyard, the glass, the stone. Celia will tell you that the stone fireplace, the stone wall that extends to the backyard really brought back kind of the feeling of her grandparents' house, which you'll see later on over at Bridgeport. You'll also see some of the design elements that Larry talked about, the pony walls, you call the short walls here, the connectedness, and we were really fortunate to stumble on this house. We'd been looking for an Eisenhower for quite a while, and we'd had a couple of near misses, and so we were really hopeful that we would be able to find something. The previous owners, the Jacksons, had been here since 1967, and they'd taken immaculate care of this house. I wouldn't say they were intentional preservationists, but the things that they had done were just terrific. So you'll see in here, these are the original hardwood floors that were, of course, covered with carpet that we took up when we renovated. At some point, they had replaced all the single pane glass with dual pane glass, which is incredible. To find that in an Eisenhower house, or any sort of old house. They hadn't ruined anything. There had been no updates that took away from the original character. The woodwork's all still unpainted, the stone's immaculate, and we were just really, really fortunate to find this, and that the Jacksons identified with our quest to find something that would kind of carry on that Eisenhower legacy and help us connect to that kind of family history, even though we're the fourth owner of this house, and so it's just been remarkably preserved. Before we moved in, we had to renovate. Despite the great care that the previous owners had taken with the house, we did want to make a few changes. Of course, we wanted to stay as close to the original house as we could in terms of intent and feeling, but we wanted to modernize things a little bit. And we'll talk a little bit about the kitchen, I guess. This is fairly original. You'll see these are all the original Chirac cabinets. These are something that were really common in Eisenhower designs and other designs of the period. One of the things, I talked about the tasteful updates and preservation that the previous owners had done. At some point, and I don't know the timeline, they had removed a wall that came across the kitchen here, opening this space up. And they actually, the counter was much lower when we moved in. It was about table height instead of bar height. So in terms of renovations in the kitchen, we stripped a couple of layers of original linoleum and lifted the countertop, opened this up a little bit, and then some new tile on the floors and on the backsplash. And other than that, that's pretty much it. And we love this almost all original kitchen. It really kind of keeps that Eisenhower feeling. It's modern without being too glossy and too slick. So we love this kitchen. And kids are always here doing homework, hanging out. This is probably the cleanest that it'll be for quite some time. So when this house was built in 1958, we would have been standing on the back patio. I'm not sure of the time frame when this sunroom addition was put on, but the Jacksons did this at some point. And I love it because they continued the original theme of the house. It really helps extend the indoor-outdoor living space. And during the warmer months, we're outside all the time. And so it really, there's a nice continuity to it. And that's when we put our addition on, we tried to keep that same kind of fidelity to the original design and intent while giving us a little more space. So we love this room. So now we're in the new part of the house. Like I said, when we purchased this house, we loved everything about the original part of the house, except it was a little bit tight for our family of 5. So we consulted with our architect and project manager, and we came up with a solution of putting on an addition that matched the original lines of the house as much as possible. And so we're now in the addition, which incorporates this master bedroom. There's a bedroom below us. And then this is the exterior of the house. It was really important to the original exterior. It was really important to us to be able to maintain that stone element up here. And we love kind of the detail that it brings out here in the master bedroom. The original master was a 1958 size bedroom with a 3/4 bath shoved in the back where I could touch the wall of the shower and the door. And so that wasn't quite going to work. So we'll see kind of as we walk down the original hallway with the original bedrooms. We've reconfigured what was the original master bedroom into a closet and 2 full-size new bathrooms, but tried to keep the look and feel of things close to mid-century. Again, try not to go over the top. We started that renovation on Memorial Day of 2016, and we moved in on Labor Day. And so it was kind of an all hands on deck, intense period. And, we'd have kids over here painting at night. Everybody was chipping in, helping to frame out this addition, cleaning up, pulling carpet. Ever since we've moved in, this house is, for us, it's all about livability. We feel incredibly fortunate to be here. The light, every day you wake up, and it's just a joy to be here in this house. And with all the time we spent at home in the last year, we feel really fortunate that we were able to do it here. And so we're just glad to be able to share this with you. We love this house. The architecture, obviously, the Eisenhower legacy is amazing. But for us, it's really about being home. Thanks for coming by, and enjoy your next stop.
Welcome everyone to our Eisenhower house. I'm Richard Polk, and this is my wife, Amy.
Hello.
And we'd like to show you around. Let's come on in. Something that's really unique about the house actually isn't part of the architecture, but it's this painting. It's by John Henry. He's an internationally known sculptor, and his sister, I believe, was Richard Eisenhower's wife. And for a housewarming gift, John Henry did this painting. And he's known, in fact, he's got sculptures down currently at Henry Clay Estate. But I think he's only done a couple of paintings, and one of them has been in this house since the day it was built.
The family was considering donating it to a museum, and they couldn't get it out of the house. And so we inherited it as part of our purchase, and we are so grateful. It just makes the space, and we absolutely love it.
When we purchased the home, we knew it was an Eisenhower, and that was important to me as an architect. So we wanted to really respect what the house was from its origins. So we were careful not to make drastic changes, but we have renovated, and most of that work has been done to the interior because we really wanted to respect the exterior and keep it much in the way it was the day it was built.
Richard built the shelves, and they're floating, and we met an artist at Woodland Art Fair from China who did our piece of art for us. The wall we're so appreciative of, because Richard Eisenhower has this vision of bringing the outside in, and so he had the idea and worked it through to bring stone wall from the outside to the inside and back outside again, so you feel like you're just in nature in the middle of your home. So, and then our son was in architecture school as well as Richard, and so we have a lot of architects and our son's girlfriend, yes, yeah. And we have an engineer, and who's getting married. And so our youngest son did a piece of furniture for his class at UK, and it's on loan to us, and we really enjoy it. It's very modern, and so we found modern furniture. A lot of it, a place called Bova Furniture in Cincinnati worked with us, and we had a lot of modern pieces. We have a Cuddle lounger over there. I do have my great-grandmother's china cabinet, so that's one piece of antique furniture that we've kept.
The main level of the house is pretty much the way Richard Eisenhower designed it. One exception is that we did decide to open up this wall, because this was a solid wall coming through. It had a little pass-through in it and a doorway going to the dining room. But Amy really wanted it open, and we found a way. So there's a column built into this corner that supports all of this. I will say one of the most unique aspects of the house, though, if you can see right through to the corner, is this glass corner, because it's floating and there's no column or anything there. So Richard, he built in a truss in the wall up above the window, and it cantilevers out. But that glass has been there for 50 years, and it's never so much as cracked. So he did a good job with it.
Although we've done a complete renovation of the kitchen, Richard Eisenhower did a wonderful job of custom doing his own kitchen with built-ins, and it was really unique and beautiful. We brought it into the 21st century by making it more modern with modern touches.
Yeah. Layout's not that different from how it started. It's just got new finishes and new cabinets, but after 50 years, kind of needed it. This is our sitting room. It in the kitchen is probably where we really live, because a lot of people are that way. Hasn't changed a whole lot, except that we've reorientated the room, because it used to kind of face the kitchen, and now we've got most of it kind of facing the outer wall. but it allows Amy to, when she's in the kitchen, that she doesn't miss anything. So all the activity that's going on in this room, she can participate in. But one unique thing I want to point out is there's a marble coffee table right here, and that came with the house as well. And it's my understanding that when Richard designed it, he designed that table, and it is 100% marble. There's not a piece of wood framing, there's not any screws, there's nothing except marble and glue. And I've moved that table. It is very solid and it is very heavy. But that table's 50 years old as well, and we're happy to have it part of the house. This is the entry hall. To your right, I guess, is what the Eisenhowers told us was their lockers, and it was really the main entry closet as you walked in. We've kind of subdivided it, put in a small bar that we use for entertaining, and then the rest of it is still storage space. But we did take these stairs and had them rebuilt. They were pretty well worn after 50 years of use, and but the railing is still the same, just kind of reworked it and finished it up again. And this is an area where we display some of our, the family pictures and those types of things. But why don't we go upstairs to the master suite, which is an area that we probably changed more than most parts of the house. We're now in the master suite of the house. It is one area that we've changed more than some. And in fact, the original master bedroom followed the wall line you see right behind my head here. And it was a solid wall with the master bath on the other side of it. But we decided to open this space up a little further, and we took this wall out and put in a nice header beam and expanded the master bedroom. So then what was the original bathroom suite got moved over. A couple of unique features of this space. Really, I'd say what's most personal to us is Amy's father did all of this live edge woodwork. So we've got several shelves spread around the room, and then a custom table that he put together for us. And then the doors we did ourselves. But it really opened up. We've got the view of the lake, and it's a space we really enjoy.
Although the house flowed beautifully, we did make some changes to it that worked great for us for the 21st century. This was a part of a laundry room, nice large laundry room, and then there was part of a closet right here, and we decided to open it up and make it a nice master bath.
The house has a lower level. It includes three bedrooms downstairs. We use it lots for guests and family. The layout of the downstairs really hasn't changed at all from what it was. We've just kind of reworked the finishes. But even down here, it's partially buried into the ground, but it has a complete view of the lake out back, and it makes for a nice space. It got really good light.
It has a little pocket door in the to separate the guest rooms, so we can open it all up or close it into 3 separate spaces. And we have a little deck outside so guests can sit outside when they're here and have privacy. And we just finished the bathroom, so that was our final renovation. We're all excited. Richard put tile on tile, and that worked out really well. And
yeah, we're mostly done, but being an architect, I guess, and with Amy as my wife, we're never done.
Right, so. Exactly.
Okay. We wanted to show you the back of the house. It's really unique, and it's really where you get the best sense of the sawtooth roof design that Richard Eisenhower put together for it. About 90% of the back of the house is glass. That's a real blessing on one sense, because we get to see what's out here, and the site is one of the reasons we were lured toward this property and loved it so much. But on the other hand, it also is not a terribly efficient house. 50 years ago, energy wasn't the concern that it is now. So we still have much of the original glass in the house, so it's not, again, the most efficient, but we did put in a geothermal system that helps with that a lot.
Having been a really long winter with COVID, we are so excited that it is spring and about to be summer, and we spend a lot of time outdoors in the summer, as you can imagine, being so fortunate to be on the water in Lexington, Kentucky. Part of the reason that this home is here is because Richard Eisenhower and one of his sons were building a home across the water and decided to make this their home by swimming across the water, staking it out when the water company started selling off parcels. And so that's why they are here. There's been a lot of swimming on this lake. In the winter, there's a history of ice skating on the edges, of course. And we spend a lot of time outdoors, and we've had a wedding, my brother's wedding here, and we really, really enjoy being on the water and having fun. Richard built these steps with some help, mostly him, help from my brother and my father, and Richard and I came up with the design for the dock and had it cantilevered over the water so that we can kind of feel like we're on the water. And so we enjoy sitting down with the fire pit when we're not on the boat, of course.
Well, we enjoyed spending a little bit of time showing our mid-century modern by Richard Eisenhower. As Amy said, we really love the house, and we hope you've enjoyed your time taking a look at it. Thank you for joining us for the May edition of Bluegrass Trust Detours, and we look forward to seeing you at the next one come June.